was just weird, just to stress me out. I grew up steeped in Bulgarian folk music. It was everywhere around me. It was on the radio waves at my grandparents' house, coming out windows as I was walking home, for any celebration or rite of passage, for the changing of New Year, for the slaughtering of pigs in the winter, for any celebration. It really was the soundtrack of my life, and that's why I never appreciated it. It was just something I took for granted until I moved to the United States and to study. And one of my musicology professors was a huge fan of Bulgarian folk music, and I was like, weird. But as I learned more about Western classical music, I grew to appreciate Bulgarian folk music because it's very complex. It has complex rhythm, very dissonant harmonies, and unmatched sense of timing. Some of the songs have no pulse whatsoever, while others have such complicated pulse that an outsider has a hard time grasping them. So today I'm mostly going to play altered music, and I'm going to start with a song in ADA form. It's just called Harvester Song, and it to me depicts villagers harvesting maybe some grain in the summer, and you can expect, you know, heat. They're toiling in the heat, and they're singing in a kind of call and response form to ease their labor. And in the middle section is dance-like. So perhaps it's Sunday, and they're celebrating their day of rest by gathering at the village square and dancing. So this is a harvester song. both the first and the middle part had different asymmetrical meters. And asymmetrical meters simply have not even beats. So I'm about to play another example of that. The most popular dance in Bulgaria is called Rutshenitza. It's in 7/8. That means 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 with a long third beat. It is a solo dance in which it's an individual dance of kind of seduction, flirtation. Basically, the men and the women of the village gather in the square and they try to outdance one another to impress, each other with their skill. So I'm highlighting a composer today called Petar Hristoskov. And I'm playing his music because it's a good bridge between folk music and classical music, which I'm trained in. But his pieces really evoke Bulgarian sonorities. And for example, in the piece I'm about to play for you, Rutshenitza, the dance, you're going to hear some typical Bulgarian instruments imitated in the violin. For example, gaida, which sounds like Scottish bagpipes. It kind of has a drone sound. Sounds something like this. Or, for example, kaval, which is kind of a flute with airy sound. I'm going to imitate it on the violin like so. You're going to hear a lot of whistles and shouts from the dancers. And so this is an example of Rutshenitza, a Bulgarian folk dance in 7/8. I was in music school like 30 years ago, and I keep coming back to it and finding new nuances and new things to explore. I wanted to tell you a bit more about this composer, Petar Hristoskov. He was a professor in the Sofia Conservatory, and he wrote 24 caprices for solo violin, mirrored after Paganini's caprices, which are probably the hardest repertoire for violin. And some of the Hristoskov caprices are just as hard. And I'm not going to play the hard ones. But it's interesting to look at this music in the context of Bulgarian music history. Bulgaria was under Ottoman rule for 500 years, all the way until the end of 19th century. And then at the end of 19th century, started about a 50-year period in which Bulgarian culture went rapid catch up to Western culture. And so it kind of, all the periods that you know from art history and music history, they're all kind of sandwiched in that 50-year period. And afterwards, boom, comes communism, and everything gets kind of stifled again. So in this music that I'm playing today, you're going to hear a lot of sentiment and pathos, like romantic music. You're going to hear notes of impressionism, and folk music personifies identity, and it's very patriotic, of course. And so I'm going to play one last song by this composer, and you're going to feel lack of time. It's fashioned after the unmeasured songs of the Rhodope Mountain. And so there is written in it, but at times it goes so free that you don't experience time. play for you a true folk melody, one that has been passed down through generations. I touched on some dancing. We're talking about the Rutshenitza, the 7/8 dance. Now, the most common type of dancing in Bulgaria is called horo. This is a bunch of people get together, hold hands, and dance in a circle usually. And it is so popular that it's kind of spontaneous. It erupts during celebrations. I'm about to play for you a type of horo that is in 11/8 time. So it's grouped like this: 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. 11 counts in every measure. And I don't count to 11, every time I play. I just experience it as short, short, long, short, short. And it kind of becomes part of the feel of the song. And I don't know whether you feel like trying it out. I wanted to show you the steps. Maybe you want to tap them while I'm playing. So this is the basic Kopanitza. So it goes step, 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 jump together. That's the first step. Again, so step, 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 jump together. Second one is step, 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 pause. The third one is step, 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 pause. So it's the same as the second, but in the opposite direction. So again, it goes, first step is step, 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 jump together. Second, step, 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 stop. And step, 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 stop. Like that. So you kind of put them together and it goes like this. Pa, 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 pa. And you can make it as fancy as you want, you can pa, 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 pa. You can swerve your legs, you can introduce, small steps, and so on. Here is what this sounds like. And again, it's so violent, it's not a typical folk instrument, but this is Kopanitza. Bulgarian folk music. To close, I want to take it to my adoptive country of the US, and to another favorite genre of mine, bluegrass. And I think to close the evening tonight, there's a bluegrass band. So sorry about that, guys. I hope I'm not stepping on your toes, but I wanted to show you the parallels between the two kinds of folk music. Both come from oral tradition, obviously. Both focus on virtuosity and improvisation, and I couldn't demonstrate that with Bulgarian folk music today because, well, improvisation has been beaten out of me since I was a little kid, you know, with my very bookish education. But both use rich ornamentation and kind of a driving rhythm underneath. If you think about bluegrass music, American folk music, you think of a banjo or a banjo kind of plucking every note and maintaining rhythm underneath. The same is true for Bulgarian folk music. Anyways, this is a modern bluegrass piece from my favorite fiddler. Her name is Brittany Haas.